Waters.
Mr. Chairman. This hearing is absolutely necessary to continue the work that we must do to determine whether or not the Justice Department is free of political influence. So I'm very pleased that we have this hearing here today. I'd like to ask our witness here today, why did you resign from your position?
There were several reasons, but the primary and most important one to me was that I just felt I couldn't be effective in the role anymore. My job required me to work with U.S. attorneys every day, and after being a part of this effort, I didn't think that was a realistic.
As I understand it, before you went to the Justice Department, you worked for the Republican National Committee?
I did.
What did you do there?
My last position there was to be the Deputy Director of Research and Strategic Planning.
Did you do opposition research?
Yes, we did.
I understand that you worked with Ms. Barbara Comstock?
Yes.
And she left the Republican National Committee working with you on opposition research and went over to head the press office. Is that right?
Yes.
And you went over about that same time?
A month later.
Did you use any of your opposition research skills once you were at the Justice Department?
I think most of what opposition research is, and it tends to be a kind of negative term, is really just being able to use Westlaw. And
no, I know what it is. I want to know if you used the skills that you had developed at the Republican National Committee once you had gone over to the Justice Department.
I certainly used Westlaw and Lexis.
You used your opposition skills. In what way did you use them? Did you use them to do research on U.S. attorneys or anyone else when you were over there?
I did research people that we were considering for hiring, yes.
Did you use them in terms of helping to make decisions about who should be retired?
Retired? No. Just, we would get resumes from a number of sources, and you would Google people or Westlaw, do Westlaw checks. You wanted to know if there's something negative about someone before you hired them to work at the department.
But do you have a human resources division that's primarily responsible for doing that kind of work for you?
No. For political appointees, I and my assistant, my deputy, were pretty much it. Occasionally, we would ask younger staff to help, but we didn't have a staff to do that.
So you basically was responsible for doing whatever research was necessary in the responsibility that you had for hiring. Is that right?
Yes.
Did you ever discuss any of the research that you had done or discovered with Mr. Colrove?
No.
Anyone in his office?
Research on people? I think I had conversations with Scott Jennings or Jane Cherry.
Well, let's think a little bit deeper. Some of the research that you had done, where you had used your skills that you had developed doing opposition research, you may have used as you reviewed political appointees for hiring.
Yes.
And then did you discuss what you had discovered or found out about with Mr. Rove or anybody in his office?
Not Mr. Rove.
Anyone in his office?
From time to time, I would talk to people in the Office of Political Affairs, and they would ask, well, what do you think about this candidate, or what do you think about this candidate? And I might say, oh, well, I checked this person out, and, for whatever reason, I don't really think that they're the best fit for it. Did you document your research?
Is it on file somewhere?
I didn't really keep that kind of file. Normally, if I found something that was negative about someone, we didn't hire them, and I wouldn't have necessarily retained.
Do you have files that may have information in it that you gathered doing your research using your opposition research skills?
There would be some files, yes.
Where would those files be?
At the Department of Justice.
Would you support us having access to those files?
That's really not a call for me to make.
Well, not that your decision would be one to determine, just in terms of all of the problems that we have, do you think it would be helpful for us to understand how it operated over there by having those files?
I don't know that my opinion would be relevant in any way, and it certainly wouldn't be my call. That would be something I think that the committee would need to take up with the department.
Your opinion would be very relevant. Let me just ask about, in preparing for Mr. Marcellus.
The gentlelady has expired.
Thank you very much.